Hi, my name is Aaron Malloy, and today be working on my video blog 2-1 Relationships Between Technology and Society, and this is for preparing for the future. Um, Now, the main question that they want us to answer was actually selecting a technology and analyze how it is a product of social construction as well as having decided influence on social relations. The topic that I actually picked was digital devices. And I feel like that was a big part of our way of living, especially going back into the history and how it has impacted us each decade and watching us grow. The critical elements that I'll be discussing with social construction basically is how is the technology socially constructed and how do human actions shape the technology. Now, I believe this is more of a digital revolution for me, and I think for everybody here, and it has basically impacted us in a very big way. Looking at the digital revolution with cell phones, TVs, tablets, computers, and looking at where it was back then to where it is now is huge. In 1947, transistors was invented, leading the way to more than advanced digital computers. So we've seen it where, I wasn't born then, but in 1947, it went from the military, the government, and certain organizations having access to computer systems to now where everybody has access to the computer systems and everybody has access to cell phones, the internet, etc. Sorry. A couple of other things that was really fascinating is like perfect example in 1990 cell phone there was 12.5 million cell phone subscribers. Now when we think about that, we would think that's a lot, but it's only 0.25% of the world's population in 1990. The internet's usage out there for users was only 2.8 million, which is 0.05% of the world's population in 1990. Now you want to talk about now, the internet usage is 3.6 billion, which is 49.5% of the world's population. So that means about half of the world uses the internet, which is, very fascinating but scary at the same time. Um, One of the other questions that they wanted us to actually talk about was describe the meaning to technology by one or more social groups. Now, when you think about social groups and what we are actually doing with, with the movement, I mean, I think of more of a business purpose. I work for a company, and I'm always dealing with users from Mumbai, India, and we're able to use this digital technology and have one-on-ones with our guys out there. We're able to utilize it in a positive way because I believe there's a positive way and there's a negative way at the same time. So that basically we're able to evolve in what we're trying to do. um, the next question is, how is the technology affecting human behavior? Now, for me, I believe that we're actually destroying our children's face-to-face social skills. It's actually stopping them to evolve in a social way. You look at Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, things like that. Now, we wake up in the morning, we want to grab our cell phone and check our Snapchat and see what people are doing. You know, um, I believe the cell phone took over the TV. I used to call the TV the idiot box because it controls our mind. Now it's our cell phone that's actually controlling our minds, and it's actually keeping us busy instead of actually reading a book. That's just me. But it's just crazy how it actually has been evolved where it's actually affecting our children, where now kids are, they're on a bus, instead of them actually having a conversation, they're actually on their cell phones, and they can't take their eyes off the cell phones. If their cell phone is missing, that's the first thing you notice. if I don't know if you ever tried that, but even with myself, I'll turn to the right and my cell phone's missing. I'm like, where is it at? And it's crazy how it just takes over our whole mental node. Another technology affecting human behavior is no more social gatherings. Like I was saying earlier, I mean, when you're out and about, and let's say you're at a dinner table or you're with your family, and everybody has their cell phone. Everybody is flicking away. People are checking their emails from their companies, and it's just taking over everything that we're actually doing, which is very scary. But that's just where our society is right now. The next question is describe a conflict between the technology and humans. And I would also say it's just the behavior. It's affecting on how we do things. Again, it's killing our social aspect of things. When we It's interesting how the first thing somebody says is, "Oh my God, if the lights get shut off or you know the power lines go out," the first thing they think about is their cell phone, or their computer, their tablet, or the internet, or even the TV. They're like, "What am I gonna do?" And it's kind of crazy where you think about people who live off the grid and they don't have these things. I feel like their minds are much sharper than others because now we're more lazy. We need technology instead of technology needing us. And that's how it should have been because in the beginning, that's how it was. So it's just very interesting on seeing where we are at and where we'll be going. I just think once in a while it's good to just shut everything off and just, go off the grid and go plant a plant, read a book, and balance your mind. Because it's crazy how we all feel like we need it. Um, the next thing is the effect of conflict on human relations. Real quickly, I just want to give you some quick facts. 95% of the teen ages 12 to 17 are online. And then when you think about it, and you think about, this is our future. So 95% of them are actually online. That's kind of bothering. I mean, it's a good thing as well, but we would hope that it's more of an education piece than more of a social piece because socializing is not going to educate our youth. So I'm hoping it's more of, hey, you know, you need your computer in order to you read this textbook, in order to build that knowledge, because it's just getting on Facebook or Twitter and things like that. I don't really think it's going to help our our future. 76% of use social networking sites. When Facebook first came out, it was only for college students. Now you have babies that are just born, and parents are making a Facebook profile for their kids, and you can see how it's just taking over everything that we're doing. Um, and these kids all have cell phones. These parents I feel like aren't teaching our kids the correct way. I feel like we lost sight on what these digital devices were really meant for. And we're not really following, the right way of dealing with these situations. There was an MIT professor by the name of Sherry Turkle, and she was actually giving digital technology an applaud on where it's at right now. She still says we have a lot to learn about how to use it without undermining our values, which is correct when you think about it. Technology was there to advance from what we're doing. That's why the government, certain other people had it because it was going to help us get over that hump. And Turco said that we are not meant to get rid of this. We are meant to use it for our human purposes. But we first have to figure out what our human purposes are and She was saying that she's pretty sure that they are not sitting at a dinner table, not